Oh, I used to click it down here and then hit go live.
Is that why we lost the sound?
Maybe.
Normally it mutes us, so I don't know if they can hear this.
Boop, boop, boop. Can you guys hear us? The behind the scenes. Last 8 seconds of getting ready.
That is gay.
Why are you gay? Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Good evening, sirs. And if there are any ladies, I doubt it, but who knows? Let us know, guys, if you can hear us. I know you can see us, but you would probably rather not.
We got a couple. Clem's been here for 2 hours.
Damn.
Then Adam Hall, and then dear Uncle Tacitus.
Dude, Clem probably just makes Claude watch videos for him and put in the comments first. Like, go to video and write in comments first. And then the AI does it for him. So we think he's paying attention.
Probably.
Yeah. See, it doesn't know what to say now.
Mm-hmm. AI is thinking. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, speaking of, Evan was using it a lot, so I was like, hey, I'll ask it some questions that I have, and then some of the stuff, like the really retarded level, like autism OC shit, it doesn't even have an answer for. Like, I've got answers that it doesn't.
Josh is a little quiet. That's a perfect comment while Josh is speaking.
Okay. Well, how about that? Maybe. But, I don't want to teach the AI, so I got to keep it secret.
Yeah.
Because I asked it a question, very few people know, and it's like, oh, well, it's still thinking. And it's like, oh, well, it's been an hour, and it doesn't have an answer.
Yeah. So. Ask it to pick a number that in your head between 1 and 500. See what it does.
Dude.
All right. So we do have few people in.
All right.
Speak up, liberal.
Yeah, and Lewis was playing with the mics this morning, so that might be what's fucked up. I'm going to blame him.
Yeah, it's always Lewis.
Yep. Most likely. They were moving around and one got unplugged. It was crazy.
Yeah, get the levels up a little bit because it does seem a little bit low.
Boo.
Yeah, go to 6 or 8. It's going to be good.
Positive?
Yes, positive.
Oh, damn.
All right, guys. So let us know if audio is better, especially when Josh is whispering sweet nothings to you guys. Josh, whisper something sweet.
Hey, Sam. Your hair looks nice.
Damn. Clip that. Sam's going to clip that on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another one we need. The Commie Pinko liberal faggot.
Okay.
Oh, great. The gentlemen here are selecting some preset audio clips for the future.
For the soundboard.
For the adventures. That way, when someone says something, we can just press the button and, yeah. I'm sure it's going to be not offensive and, gentle on your feels and shit like that. So, yeah. That's it. So what are we talking about today?
So we've been getting a lot of questions from people. Some, obviously not everybody knows who everybody else is, but we've been getting a lot of questions of what some of the upcoming classes really are. So the Fight Like a Girl, we talked about it a little bit, kind of at the end of each stream, just a little glance over. And then a couple people were wondering what's up with the no games thing. Imagine someone who doesn't know who Tim is.
Yeah, that's just gay.
Right. Missing out.
I think.
But some people are like, oh, well, what's the big deal? And it's well, I mean, it's tough to put into words that the stuff that these dudes do.
Well, on the serious note, yeah, we often joke, and Lewis has a talent to kind of imitate Tim's voice and his mannerisms and all that, but that's not what really is. We're not. the idea about having this bunch of dudes coming in and teaching, Tim was not like, hey, and Tim would be great for entertainment. No matter where Tim is, it's always going to be that's just his personality. But when it comes to teaching shotgun, I mean, the dude is up there.
Yeah,
You know,
there's like a single hand of people that like are really really good at it, and like even if you come from different backgrounds, let's say like a law enforcement background, like they've got some dudes that are really slick with that. Like still, like if you were counting on one hand, Tim's at the top of the game. Like
Yeah. And especially when the title of the class, No Games,
yeah,
especially when that's taken into account. Because how many of those other guys are like Tim might be lone in that top tier shotgun instructor who is more concerned with your movement than your time.
yeah,
So when it comes to no games, no bullshit, when every firearms instructor at least pays lip service because they know they have to, because the principle of you not being shot is clearly more important than you shooting the bad guy. But
Yeah.
how many of them are running movement drills in their shotgun classes?
almost none. I mean, I can't speak, like in absolute terms because I have not been to a lot of shotgun classes. Or actually, I haven't taken a shotgun class, and that's why, people ask me, "Are you going to teach shotgun class?" I'm like, "Oh hell no!
Mhm.
That's not my specialty. To me, it's shotgun. To me, is Americana.
yeah.
You
You
know what I
need a
mean?
Hadouken for that.
Yeah.
It's an Americana. Yeah, I mean, I shot the KS-23, the 4 gauge. I have no access to the 4 gauge shotgun, and if I taught that, and if I had one after 2 shots, everyone goes to the fucking hospital or at least chiropractor, and the class is over.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be a cool experience. And so, and I was actually, it's funny you mentioned, with the name that we chose for this class with all the other fellas, No Games. As I was driving here from the house, I was thinking like, and Jay and Calvin and Jerry and Tim, the guys coming from out of town. I've seen them teach. They all have taken my classes before. And that is something that I think within that group is unique, that yeah, there are certain habits because, let's say Jay has been with tactical response forever and ever, you know. So there are certain things that people will recognize because it's what's being taught in tactical response for years and actually decades, if you look at it. But none of these guys, at least from what I observed in my interactions and teaching and watching them teach, they are beholden to some very very strict rules, my way or the highway, or this is. I mean, they actually instructors that are capable to adapt, and they open to hear you out when you go like, hey, why you do it this way and not that way? None of them will go. I mean, as a joke, it may go, well, because it's gay, right? But in reality, if you have conversation, if you formulate the question as a serious student, you probably will get more than what you pay for.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And in that group, I think that's what's unique, and that's what's exciting to me, that we're going to have, for 6 days, all of us kind of milling around full 6 days.
Mhm.
That dudes that will take this class, they're going to have pretty damn unique experience of not standing with some kind of a iconic but stale big names, but actually dudes that teach, but they are forever students themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that student mindset carries into the way they teach.
Absolutely.
Because, like you said, at some of the bigger name classes that have some stuff that's been ironed out or been approved by departments, and they may answer a question with just a simply like, that's not as good, trust me, kind of thing, where
Yeah.
with this group of instructors, you're going to get the, hey, we're here. We got backstop. We got bullets.
Show me.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Absolutely.
do it.
That was something that I really liked when you guys did Well, Tim was talking about like the difference between like the shot spreads and stuff, and kind of went against the grain because a lot of people are super into like the Van Comp barrels, where they physically alter the barrel to theoretically make it shoot tighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of it was like, okay, well, is that necessary? And then what is this for? And it seems to be a big thing in a lot of the institutionalized classes that there's a lot more talking points than actual explanation. And then explanation that leaves much to be desired because there's so many things that I have that's more of my opinion, but it's like weird shit that dudes do. Like, oh, if the principle is we're using this as a fighting tool, then why are we doing all the weird stuff? Like I was just discussing with Lewis about how to do stuff, keeping the hand on the fire controls and not going off because that's what people do because it's faster. Okay, well that's because you want to look cool in class or you want to get really good at this thing or I'm going to change all of my gear to get good at this drill.
Yeah.
But that defeats the whole purpose.
And like you said, when some instructors answer with these almost like cliche stamped phrases, because to me it's almost like a fucking CNN going, well, Iran has been our enemy for 47 years, a line written in fucking Langley in some CIA junior officer's desk that's been distributed. And that's what I see in our industry. These stamped cliches are being regurgitated, you know what I mean? But without any thought that serious instructors should give it to and go like, well, first of all, why is the student asking the fucking question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a challenge.
It'll lower your hit probability.
Yeah.
Does it lower my getting hit probability? Because remember that conversation from 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, when it goes both ways.
Not getting shot part?
That's not important. That's a shooting problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, it is a shooting problem, me being shot. Yeah, it is a shooting problem. So one thing, as I said, that with all the guys that are going to be teaching in that class, because I personally know all of them and I spend time with every single one, again, in different capacities, is to me what's very, very unique is that these are living students.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are living students. And when you look at pedigree and background of Jerry Nuss and then obviously Jay Gibson, Calvin, I mean, shit. You know what I mean? You kind of go like, these are not spring fucking chicken by any means. The dudes have very serious background and they may not flaunt it or whatnot. Jerry is or Jay is not posting their fucking, long resume has been there, on that day at such hour, press the trigger twice, No, but the dudes have been there and done that. And again, that is not the selling point. The point is that they are able to teach and meet students where they at without slinging the weight that they accumulated, as a weight of the resume.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fucking human. It's very, that does in no way, shape, or form degrades the I guess authority of what they have to say or the weight of their words because it is backed by experience. But it's not being supplemented by this, like, hey, look at my patch. What do you have to say? What is yours?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't sling that shit, and I appreciate that. I really do.
So I'm going to show it here. This is on sonnypazikis.com under the seminars. This is the No Games firearm skills for defensive purposes. So the full Monty, 6 days.
Including 3 evening sessions.
Yeah, including 3 evening sessions is the total package, heavily discounted when you start taking into account, one, the number of instructors, the fact that it's a collaborative event, what a typical 2-day class costs.
Well, my typical 2-day class now is $700 to $800 if it's firearms related class, and I still think it's too cheap. So $1,500 for 6 days with all the instructors present. It is. I mean, when Lewis suggested that to me, I kind of looked at him a little bit sideways, but I'm like, okay, cool, no problem, right? And then you have choices there where it says choose an option, right? So when you click on it, complete package, 4 days and 2 half-hour blocks, 2 days one weapon class, so you can pick whether it's day 1 or 2, day 3 or 4, or day 5 and 6. And then you can also add the additional things: 1 training block, 2 training blocks, as far as for the evening blocks that are going to be taught in addition to full day curriculum that each instructor will be presenting on the specific weapons. So Tim I believe, is going first with the shotgun, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I think we are going with pistol or rifle after that.
We're going shotgun, pistol, then rifle.
Okay, shotgun, pistol, rifle. So my guess is that when Tim is teaching this guy right here, Jerry's probably going to jump in a little bit and throw in his wisdom. You're not going to hear any of my wisdom in the shotgun class. Although, when it comes to movement and working around the corners, you may hear a Russian accent there, and me and Tim may go at it. Who knows? Interesting things may happen. I suspect they will happen. And then pistol class, I'm assuming it's going to be probably...
I think Jerry's going to take the lead on pistol.
And then Lewis will jump in with the significant insights into that two-day block. Yeah, you still can expect to hear from me. You can still expect to hear from Jay and Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Tim has nothing to say about the pistol, because the guy can fucking shoot too.
Mm-hmm.
And he has taught hundreds of classes probably as far as the pistol classes. And then the last 2 days, days 5 and 6, is going to be rifle. And I'm assuming Jay will be probably taking the lead in that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm guessing Calvin will be jumping in. And the rest of us, because Jerry and myself have a lot to say about it. I am suspecting there will be questions about different things as far as ambidextrous weapons handling, so I'll probably do a very butthurt Maximus kind of a segment of why partial transitions are gay, and many other things. So, and then the evening blocks, the first block is medical, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so then we're going to have an evening block, which is for the evening medical block. The second block, I believe, is going to be flashlight related for the low light stuff with the pistol, correct?
Yeah, I think that block we have split in half. So as the range day technically ends for the day stuff, the beginning of the night block will be some pistol optic.
Okay.
Because we have a little while it's starting to get dark there. So that'll be a pretty long day on the range. But so we've got a bit of the pistol optic stuff going on, and then into a flashlight specific. Like, you can have a flashlight on you even when you walk through TSA, and there's a lot of shit to know with flashlight. And I don't think anybody in our industry is really teaching flashlight separate from weapons.
No, not.
So
really.
I'm standing alone again.
Yeah.
Shit. I guess better get used to it. Well, I am used to it. So, and just as a disclaimer, I'm not some kind of a freaking inventor, originator, or whatnot. My knowledge of flashlight when I was in Soviet military doing my thing was relatively limited. Most of the work was done in team environment as far as that goes. Then when I started working for Ken Good Strategos International, Ken is, he's deeply involved in low light stuff. Unfortunately, and I say that meaning it, unfortunately, Ken focuses strictly on law enforcement military applications.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I took a lot of material that Ken teaches, and he taught in Strategos International. And then when we left and started our own company, Progressive Combat Solutions, and I kind of looked at it as a non-team environment, not having certain leeways that you will have as a law enforcement or military guy doing shit. How would this apply to a citizen, to just a dude?
Yeah.
And that's where it started diverging, and that's where I saw the need to separate flashlight as a separate skill from the gun, from the gun, to then integrate it together. Because I believe if it's And I hate the word mastered, but if you become very competent with the flashlight, it's really not just like people say, nods or white light or whatever. It's a force multiplier. I think it could be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think light itself can be, and I hate to say it, well, I don't hate to say it, but it's a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Light is a weapon. So we'll have that block, and then the third night block is going to be during the rifle sessions, right?
And that'll be low light or flashlight usage with shooting.
Yep. So yeah, it's going to be pretty loaded as far as your involvement in training. So it's not just going to be a, so to speak, 9 to 5 type of a work day. It's going to be a little longer, and let's not forget the social engagements.
Oh, and then, after those classes, and then on the nights that aren't the extra stuff in the evening, like there's a lot of stuff that we do in town. Like there's a lot of places to go. Like on Thursday night, we've got food and table. It's tough to put that into words.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we're going to try and get Tim to do karaoke.
Oh, goodness gracious. This town will not recover after that. And, I've seen Jay do karaoke. If we can have like a
he
triple,
puts me to shame.
You, Jay, and Tim, man, I'm talking viral video guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we got to show Jay the margarita stand.
We got to be
like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Well, then Jay's not going to be staying anywhere. He's going to fucking break a tent in that parking lot there, and eventually they're going to scoop him up and arrest him there.
Yeah. We need all of us doing We Are Family.
Okay.
I got all my brothers with me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just picture that.
Yeah. So we do have spots. We have quite a few spots taken. We have a number of people that sign up for the full menu. We have few people that sign up for less than a full menu with some additional, evening blocks and all that. I did have some questions also, and I addressed it in one of my posts a couple of weeks ago. When you guys are going to bring this show to XYZ location? Direct answer, most likely never. And I tell you why. When Lewis told me that he was able to kind of nail down the dates with all the other dudes, and he goes like, are you available on those dates? I'm like, well, I don't know how the fuck you pulled it off, but I will make myself available. Because I was planning to go a little bit earlier to Florida for my daughter's graduation and all that, but I'm like, no, we still have time and all, So, yeah, like realistically, guys, to get all of us together in one place at the same time for basically a full week of training, chances are about as good as getting a sugar mama who's a billionaire and a good looking.
Yeah.
And not crazy.
Well, and
about as good.
It wouldn't have the same magic because this kind of came together almost as like
it's like organic event,
Yeah, it was like a dream event to get a bunch of
we talked about it for a while, right?
Yeah.
About bringing the guys, but there were different combinations where we're like, hey, we'll bring the Jay and maybe Calvin, right?
Yeah.
But then when Lewis told me, he goes like, I got this, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited myself. I'm going to be taking, I'm going to be present there full time, but I will be taking the shotgun class. What's funny about it is I just realized I don't have enough shotgun ammo. So I called Butch. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be taking shotgun class. I need shotgun ammo too, and Tim gifted me this shotgun that's like fucking 22-inch barrel or something. So it's humongous. It's not tactical at all, but I'm fuck it. I'm not changing anything on it. I'm not putting anything on it.
Dance with the girl you brought.
Yeah. And I don't have a shotgun vest. Yes, I could call John Willis and he can. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play with what I have.
In all honesty, one of the pet peeves that I have, and then feel free to correct me where I'm wrong. I think a lot of that stuff is administrative. Like when you're shooting shotguns in a class, like if I'm fighting what's in and on the gun, I have a shotgun rig. I have the SOE cop rig, and it's full of fucking 36 or 42 fucking shotgun shells. But realistically, like if I'm grabbing the 870 or the 1301, I've got 8 in it and then 6 on it. That's what I should be doing in the drill.
Yeah, because I switched that shotgun that Tim gifted me, and I put it in my office now. because I moved the AK that you brought, James's AK. I put it in Nick's house because now he's good with AK and everything, or so he thinks. And so I'm like, it's hanging on the wall. I'm like, shit, this bitch is huge, But I'm like, yeah, if something started happening, I have another few things that I can grab from the wall. But if I choose to grab that, that's what I'm running out with.
Yeah.
8 in there, 1 in the fucking pipe, and 6 hanging on the side.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm running out with.
I mean, if there were like a specific thing that called for it, and it was like, hey, you're going to be the shotgun
if I'm
dude,
prepping and I'm
like,
doing,
right.
I'm going to be the first guy to blast the door, the hinge off or whatnot.
then all that gear's
okay,
cool. But you can do a lot with
a
fanny pack and a box of shells in it.
Right.
A Home Depot nail apron for $2. You fit 50 shells in that thing. Yeah. And go to work.
That's what I mean.
Class.
So, like, what you would actually use.
Yeah, if you have a jacket, right, you just grab a handful and put it in the fucking pocket.
And you're right. Like, I watched some of the stuff like that. I would take notes on some of these people doing after actions of cool shotgun stuff, and then some of it's like I noticed that this instructor is like huge into the marketing code words and stuff, like almost as if the company wrote the line for him to say. And then some of it's like, oh, well, I've got a shotgun card on the shotgun. And as soon as I run out, I just start loading from a dump pouch. And I was like, okay, like I would rather have a dump pouch full of shotgun cards and do all my reps with that instead of doing, I do 6 from the card to the tube or 6 from the card to the port load.
Yeah.
And then everything else is from a thing that I'm never going to actually use. Yeah. But if I've got a fanny pack and it's like strapped to the shotgun or it's sitting on it, and I could put that on, grab the shotgun, that would make more sense.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I do get excited. I'm watching like Lena Mikulik or something like that, doing the thing where they load two rounds, at the time. And I go like, man, that's fucking slick.
It's cool, but like...
Do I have that shit on me when I grab the shot? No, I don't.
Would it still be on you if you did a forward roll? Probably not.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that stuff does not have a place. I'm just not going to put all my chips, where they depend on me having that with me, on me, being able to access it and it functioning the way it shows in the well-made YouTube videos. Because my fighting may be very, very different.
Yeah. Well, and that's something like realistically, like, just purely based on statistics, which I know are biased in a way. Like people that are getting into shotgun fights aren't going through 36 rounds. Like most of them aren't even finishing a tube. And those that are, like, I'm not talking like the Miami shootout where it's like 2 spec ops dudes fucking up the FBI. Like most people, like if you do your part and you blast somebody with a shotgun, with double aught buck or whatever you should actually have in it, like that's the end. Like
I mean, it's
going through
again. I'm by no means a master of shotgun. I know very little about it. I didn't have any formal training with it per se, But I have enough IQ to realize what it does to things. I've seen it, and I go like, I would not like being on the other end of this.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah, you're not walking that off.
Just a flesh wound? No.
Yeah.
No, a lot of flesh wounds.
So I've also gotten some questions from people on different social media and stuff asking like, well, it seems like this is going to be a super advanced class. And I don't know if I'm ready for it or what do I need as prereqs for it. And I can't say enough that this is a perfect class for someone. First of all, if you've been scared to do tactical training because you don't have a multicam tuxedo or, all the $500 gear, like this is the perfect class for you to take because it's no bullshit, no games, just how to protect yourself, your family, and there's none of that ego. It's going to be
about fucking skills.
Right.
It's going to be about competence. It's going to be about what mistakes we make, why we make them, how to avoid them, what we need to do. This is not going to be a sales job of the gear. This is not going to be a thing where you have to, on the timer, beep, to hit certain time to be qualified for the class or whatnot. If you even have not taken a formal training, okay, I don't see a problem people coming to this class because, again, knowing all the dudes that will be teaching, I've seen them take people aside. Shit, this guy right here, Lewis, took my son aside. We were in Kentucky, right? Yeah, in Kentucky. Nick, Nick is all right with pistol caliber carbine and all that, but running the 2.5 drill with AK, he was struggling about being, like staying where things need to be. 30 minutes later, he was running in the middle of the pack, if not towards the top of the pack, as far as hitting the things,
Yeah.
So all these dudes, I've seen him do the same thing with people, take them aside and meet them where they at and get them up to speed quickly. And it was not done in some kind of here we have a retard, let us take him aside. No. They're going to come up to you without anyone else seeing, whisper, take you aside. You're going to do some shredding towards the targets. You come back into a line and continue with the drills as if nothing happened, except that you're going to be different.
Yeah. So there may be like a beginner class or someone at certain level or group of people working on a certain thing. And, on the other side of the range, there might be discussions being had on like 2-pistol CQB.
Yeah. No, so you will totally have guys stuff on different levels, but the thing about it is that with those guys, I've seen it more than once, and in my classes, I mean, shit, even recent Fear Inoculum, right? You had guys that are up here at the skill level, and you had guys who were, I don't think I'm ready, I totally don't belong, and all that shit. Everyone worked the same shit at their level. So it wasn't like, well, you don't belong in this drill.
Yeah.
No, that's not how we structure our training. That's not how people in our sphere are. We don't, like I will have certain classes that will have prerequisites. This is not one of them. This is definitely not one of them. And we wanted this to be accessible in a sense. But at the same time, this is not, when people say so, what you're saying is it's a basic class. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No. Yeah. Once, Jerry and Calvin start knocking heads together and putting people through some stuff, it's anything but basic class. You probably stuff that you can't get at the highest levels of the U.S. military.
I will go as far as to
in
say,
training, they're probably not allowed to do some things that are going to be done.
Not probably.
Yeah.
I can tell you from personal experience, it's not probably. They're not.
Right.
So again, it may sound like some big bragging or whatnot, but within our circle, dudes that teach, and certainly in our classes here in East Texas, you guys, again, don't be scared because you think, well, I'm not tier 1 level operator. I don't want you to be, because I would need you to untrain a lot of bullshit out of you.
You probably did a lot of gay stuff to get there.
Yeah. So don't be intimidated because, Jay's former SF this, Jerry's former naval spec warfare this. I'm a former chess player in Soviet military, Lewis was underwater shark hunter with the fucking axe, and, Josh here, he was probably pepper spraying fucking giants back in, when Israelites escaped Egypt, and I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Furniture pirate.
Yeah, don't be intimidated by anything that you may hear about our backgrounds or whatnot. This is for everyday people, and our job, and we take our job seriously, is to make you into potentially very dangerous, capable, but responsible human being. So, yeah, I'm excited about, having that class at my place and then hanging out with all the dudes and watching everyone teach and soaking it all in and jumping in when I can. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And you should too. I had some messages from relatively local people. I'm talking like within 3 hours. Hey, when you're doing next one? The answer, never.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that week I have make a plans,
Well,
make changes. Guys, classes like that don't come to you.
yeah.
You come to them.
And again, the magic in it is the when
we didn't force it. We didn't say, "Hey, Jerry, like
But-
you got to come back in 6 months so we
but
can do
in
this
the
again."
learning, like when Jerry's like, well, hey, what do you think about this, Sonny? And you guys work on something for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, students run through it, like, all right, boom, thing, scene, no more question. That question's not going to
No,
come
and
up
I
in
can
a
tell you,
future
let's
class.
say with Calvin, right?
It'll be, we're on the same page now
Yeah.
going forward. The next class would be, oh yeah, we
What about
all,
that
we
thing?
all sorted this shit out already.
Right.
Where were you?
Right. You know, like with Calvin, right? Because I saw like a year ago, there was a discussion about getting down to one knee and getting out versus toes versus the flat foot and all that. Calvin goes like, it makes no difference. Okay. So probably during that class, we're going to hash it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have a chance yet to do it in actual training. And to me, with someone like Calvin at his level, this is not that something that you type endlessly and do all the biomechanics and fascia and, you know, all the other fucking, you know, science and all that. No, we're going to get on the range and we're going to hash it out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to each present the case. And it's not like this versus that, you know, but comparative study of this and that, how it works, why this does this, why this does that. And the dudes will have a chance to participate live in actual hashing it out.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's a laboratory between two guys on the small little thing, how to take a knee around the corner or in the parking lot or whatnot, and how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, if I was like, you know, relatively newer in the field or whatnot, that would be like, oh shit, man, I get to kind of like go into the lab with these fucking guys where they're cooking some high level crack. Cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, there's too many like legs for this table to stand on of why this isn't like a, hey, when are you doing it next? Like part of it is, you know, like when is it going to come somewhere else? Like, well, one, like this is our backyard essentially. So half of the people are already here.
Yeah.
Like logistics wise.
Yeah.
And then we can do whatever we want. We're not going some public range.
There's nobody with a red hat to,
Right.
to tell us.
And then anywhere outside of Jacksonville, like I said, you aren't going to have the karaoke at the Draft House and RJ and etc. But then also like the sheer logistics of like, hey, when's this coming to fucking California? When's this coming to Florida or some, you know, butt fuck.
Guys, I can tell you this.
Like,
for us to do this as a mobile class somewhere else without us having facility and accessibility, what we have here, this would not be $1,500 class. This would be more like $2,500 class for 6 days, because for us to cover logistics,
yeah,
you know, with hotels, with travels, with all the other things, with supplies needed and all that stuff, it would be quite a nightmare. It would be quite a fucking task. We have here, I'm not saying this is, you know, like a ranch, like a professional setup and all that stuff. It's not. But things that we can do here are...
yeah.
Right.
Well, then if it ends up being a mobile class at 2,500 a head, how many do you need for everybody to show up?
Yeah.
You know, 1,000 miles away.
Well, for me, guys, for you to take me out of my house is going to be a lot of fucking money.
It's not possible, because any organizer would have to come up with such a huge guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the crux of it. You could call it a $4,000 class. You're still not going to be able to put it on without guaranteed, you know, basically nut to crack. So the fact that we can house instructors, you know what I mean? All of these factors.
Yeah. There's so much
combined.
goes into it that it makes sense for it to be here.
And the travel plans of where dudes were on their way to and coming from, it just, the stars aligned. And, and it is, everything is how it should be. The people who should be there will be there. You should be one of those people there. If you're not, then that is your choice.
Guys, you know, there is a saying, don't let later become too late. I'm not going like, fatalistic here or whatnot, but if you look at the ages of me, Jerry, Tim, Jay, we are 50s and 60s. You know, this Saturday I'm going to Austin to, memorial service for Clem's teacher. You know, he was 58, a healthy guy, didn't smoke, didn't drink, works out, BJJ black belt, great Brazilian jiu-jitsu teacher, went to the gym with his wife, had a seizure, lost pulse, they never got it back, passed away. Just like that. You know what I mean? And Clem's been training with him for all these years. That's where we got the brown belt under and all that. And Clem is like, you know, this past Saturday was supposed to be the seminar at their school, and instructor. And I'm not saying that me, Tim, Jay, Jerry, whatever, or even young dudes like Louis here planning, you don't have to plan those things. You just don't know when and how. It doesn't have to be something that fatalistic. Someone basically decides to dedicate themselves to something different, and he's no longer on the market or accessible.
Yeah.
Well, I win the fucking lottery. I move to the island. You're not even going to be able to call me.
Yeah.
Forget about taking the class.
Yeah. And you don't know when your emergency is going to happen.
Yeah.
If I could know that, I'm not going to need to use any of this until the year 2034, then I might save a little on gas money this year while gas is high. But the way the world looks and is heading,
that shit could be tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to take as much training as I possibly can because it's a priority for me to be ready, right? And I think that quote of James's, or that he stole from Musashi, like, but your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends. And Super Dave, he said, you can only be as prepared as you prepare to be. So how prepared do you want to be when your emergency happens? Mm-hmm. When can you ever get a knowledge group, like a wealth of knowledge in one place on this stuff? Like, man,
again, to me, the biggest
move shit around.
The biggest thing with that is, to me, is not just the amount of knowledge and gravitas of what these people experiences they have, but how they teach people. You know what I mean? They're not there touting their own fucking greatness of their past achievements and the units they served with or whatnot. The whole focus is not on my name, is not on my accolades or whatnot. How can I pass this shit to you?
Yeah.
That's the focus, and that's what I love about this group. First time James forced everybody to take my class in Tennessee, I was like, here I have Jay and Tim taking my class, and I'm like, that feels pretty fucking fun, Then Jerry comes to my first class here that I'm teaching in Tennessee. Jay's taking a K class and makes mistakes in front of me because he doesn't account for the offset and all that, and he's banging himself on the head, and I'm like, this is Jay fucking the Nightmare Gibson. I mean, but he's not like hiding, go like, don't tell anybody. No, yeah. It's been done in front of other students in the class and all that, and I go like that, right fucking there. Perpetual fucking student. And that's why people like that should teach people, while others that touting their own, like, I was in that unit, I was in that. It's called fucking vanity slinging. You're not going to see vanity slinging with these guys. I've known them for years, some of them decades now. And that's that. So we're not doing like a hard sales job on you guys. What I think what we're trying to do is to try to project to you how truly unique this opportunity is, with all the dudes coming here and sharing their knowledge and putting their hearts into teaching and putting that shit out to make it not just available, but to make it sink for each student present.
All right.
Do I have any questions there?
Let's see.
I see the SEAL Army.
We've got Tim gave you a JC Higgins. Yes. So, well, that's actually kind of a long story. I'll try and shorten it. Tim thought he was going to win a bet on me on shooting a 100-yard target. He said he painted this certain target that was on the range bright blue, so my colorblind ass could shoot it with pistol because he knows I like taking long shots with my fancy optic.
Mhm.
And I said, Tim, 100 yards, first of all, is not a long shot. Like, I'll make that blindfolded. And he was like, my ass, I'll bet you 100 to 1. I'll take your dollars all day. And so get the blindfold out, camera out. He's throwing the blindfold over my head. After I missed the first 3, realized how much tension I was like putting in, and it was just falling apart. So then I was like, all right, just kind of relax it, make the shot, go 2 in a row. So number 4 and number 5 hits. And Tim says, that's it. That's it. As soon as Shelton goes, wait, that's like $200, right, Tim? And he goes, that's it. So I said, all right, instead of taking your money, if you find me a JC Higgins, like get it for me on Gunbroker, we'll call it even. I was expecting to pay for this gun.
Mhm.
I just wanted him to do the legwork of finding it
Yeah.
and, meeting the guy in the Wendy's parking lot and buying it in a duffel bag or whatever. But you do all that. I'll pay for the gun, but we'll call that square. Somewhere he's looking for him on Gunbroker, doesn't like the price on a few of them. I'm like, Tim, I'm paying. Like, it doesn't matter the price. I want that one. It looks like it has a Panzer tank brake. He's like, no, you don't want the damn brake, and blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, and you ain't paying for it. So he like refuses to let me pay for it. So now he's digging himself in deeper. Then we're out at class and he's got a Tavor out that James had given him, one of the new Tavors, X95. He had the old Tavor out. I thought he had given it to some lady at class because that's Tim.
Tim,
he's just, you don't have a rifle? Like
you have a rifle.
Now you have a rifle. So I thought he had given that gun away. I was like, oh, you still had that? I thought you gave that away. He's like, no, I still have it. And I was like, well, I was thinking about getting one for my sister. Like, what do you want to trade for it? And he's like, no, you just take it. I just want my sling and optic back. I'm like, okay, well, fine. And then like a couple of days later, I asked him about the JC Higgins. And he's like, oh, you son of a bitch from New York. I give you a brand new Tabor. You still want me for the shotgun. I was like, whoa, that gift doesn't get you out of the bet, bro. So anyway, I did end up with it, but he stuck it back to me because that gun cost me $500 at a gunsmith. Well, $200 to get chopped, then $500. So I'm $700 into the JC Higgins, which is like a $200 gun. So yeah, he gave it to me.
Yep.
Sorry. Let's see. Andrew, make a shotgun card bandolier. I just want a headband like Rambo with shotgun cards sticking off of it. Or maybe that's more like an Indian headdress kind of thing, right? Like,
I've got one of his the elastic bandoliers. You could probably tear the shit out of it with the Velcro, but it's elastic, so it's disposable, I guess.
True that.
All right. So I have a question I want to send to you guys because I've had this as a reminder in my phone that I keep pushing back. I've been meaning to make a video about it. And this is like for months. Someone sent a text to me.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and access that.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, see, someone's got the no, get away from me. Classic Tim. So somebody dig up him saying that on a live stream, and I'll put it on the soundboard.
Yeah.
I've got
We still need to.
same
We
teeth
obviously
and
need to
sweet
have the
mother.
Humana too.
Oh yeah, like
That's like.
there should be a whole separate board just for Tim.
I know. We need to see if there's like a plug-in, like a Tim plug-in. You know.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to kind of
Read
start here. So this is Buddy William, lives up in Chicago, and we're talking back and forth kind of movement stuff. And then this is the middle of a really long text he sent. One thing that resonated is that people say the most important thing is in a gunfight is not to get shot, but they don't act like it. Maybe not an exact quote, but I think it's from like number 10 Gospel of Violence video. This makes a lot of sense with all my stagnant shooting or just taking one step. First question is, when you draw and start moving, do you transition to one hand after a couple shots? And if you clear enough distance to make two-handed unnatural? Second question is, how do you funnel the amount of information when you start training newbies?
Okay.
So let's go on, those.
I think part one seems pretty easy, quote unquote. So if you're moving, like I wouldn't even transition to the one hand. If I'm drawing the gun, I'm whipping the biscuit one-handed already. Or if for some reason you were standing static with two hands and you start moving, like eventually, whichever way you turn, it's going to become uncomfortable. That would, if anything, that's your body's way of telling you, like, hey, I can't turn as much this way. Either I need to switch to two-handed the other way or switch to one-handed already. So that makes sense to me, like however your movement's going. Like I do see a lot of people that want to move and then shoot. I do see where they're coming from, especially because a lot of it's like cop stuff. You know, like if there's three other people, yeah, you might have the opportunity while Lewis is distracting them. I can kind of get an angle and start blasting. But the transition hand thing definitely makes sense. Anything on the first one, Sonny?
Yeah. So here's my take. Right, when people say drawing and moving, first of all, switch the order of things. Drawing is not first.
Yeah.
Movement is first. Right? And people will go like, well, what if I don't have to move? Then fine. If you don't have to move, that means that fire is not coming at you or that threat is not immediate or whatnot. Skin that cat, present it, acquire your shit, place where it belongs, and the things if that's what needs to be done. That's a separate topic, right? If you have to move, why do you have to move? Generally speaking, probably not to get into a better shooting position. If I'm starting to move my feet at the very beginning of the hostility, so to speak, right? I'm probably moving my feet because if I stay in that spot, it's no bueno.
Yeah.
Bad shit will happen. So now my job is what? To, as much as possible, minimize the possibilities of bad shit happening through movement to buy myself time to access the thing and put pressure on him that buys me more time to end things. Yeah. Now, if I'm good enough, lucky enough, blessed enough, God is looking over me, he's static, he's close enough, my bullet is magic, and first shot I place on the move ends it,
great.
Thank you. But movement is, in those situations, in those kind of environments, movement is primary. Okay, and what people should get out of their heads is get the shooting out of your head before you get the movement down. Because if your shooting is in your head as you're training movement, okay, your movement will be custom built to accommodate shooting. Your movement is not built to not be shot. I hope it makes sense. Most of the shit that's being done out there on the ranges, everything is done. Well, we're moving. Well, we're doing this. Everything is done to accommodate the timer and or a grouping.
Mm-hmm.
That is the end goal. Okay. My end goal is to be functional long enough to put good enough shots on him that will make him unable and or unwilling to continue. I do that, people go, well, just get to cover. If it's available, if it's feasible,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not guaranteed. It's not in the Constitution, and it's not imprinted on your inherent rights from God to have cover. At least in those first 2 seconds, that's probably going to be the last 2 seconds for one of you involved in that fight. Okay, so movement happens to be a tool that buys me time by the virtue of him now having to address not the target, but movement calculation, predictability, how chaotic that movement is, and all that. How chaotic that movement is going to be determined by your skills for movement.
Yeah.
Okay, can you change direction, pacing, and level of your movement as you move? Achieve that first. Spend 6 months working on that, and then put the gun into it.
Well, I think that's the answer to part two is, okay, when you're teaching a beginner, like I would rather you be a complete beginner, because then you're not building all the reps of skin the gun out static or gun and then move.
How many times you guys seen in 2.5 guys that's so used to deliver static shots, they can't help themselves. They don't even recognize that they stopped.
Yeah.
Although they know it's going to be 100 push-ups for that one single stop.
Or the way in which they come past that point of exposure where they're completely square and exposing way more than they need to. I think I read into that somewhat of what you were hearing, like the draw is this.
Yeah.
And if that marrying of support hand and presentation
has become your habit,
if that's primary before your movement, like we have flaws in there that I think.
Well, the priority is on the gun, and we were talking about how people do that in like weapons-based martial arts. It's like, okay, are you a knife fighter or are you a fighter that has a knife? Like, does all of your movement like not only accommodate the blade, but is also kind of to your mind an invisible cage of, oh, well, I have to be doing these things. Like we did the shovel class. Is that only about the shovel? Like,
Hell
no, it's not.
No.
But that's because it's not built around that. But if you designed a class built specifically on the shovel, your movement would be stunted by the tool.
To accommodate the tool, yeah. And that's what I refer to, and many people mention that. Is this a weapon-centric training, or is this a function-centric training? And to me, the weapon, I know it's a cliche, it's a tool. Like when I was talking to Mark Denny, right, one of the founders of Dog Brothers, full contact stick fighting. It's interesting what he said about the drills. He goes like, for every action in some of the drills that they make with the stick, I force them to make 2 steps. So you can only do 1 hit after 2 steps. He was like, and I would make it, and it's very artificial and all that stuff. He goes like, but this is also part of instilling the idea that movement is twice as important as what you do up here. When you said not being, a gunfighter, right? My colleague Todd Fossey, right, from up in Minnesota, I believe. He has the saying, don't be a gunfighter, be a fighter with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And yeah, he doesn't do the same things that I do. He trains with Greg Nelson, great BJJ exponent and all that stuff. So he has a little bit more things that you can say stylistically and philosophically closer to what, let's say, Craig teaches, although they are different, and my understanding is they don't like each other. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's politics. It's industry, right? Yeah. But the idea is this: that whatever I carry, I have a gun on me now, I have a knife on me, I have a few other tools and all that stuff. But to me, if some ghost appears there 3 feet away from Josh, and Josh is asleep because he's looking how whatever he's looking at, you know what I mean? I probably Well, actually, you guys saw it in the church when one of the kids that has some problems when he kind of rushed towards the altar the other day. You know what I mean? That's something. You know what I mean? Some people you need to reach with your hands. Some people you need to reach by other means. But if you are indoctrinated and absolutely zeroed in one way of this solves my problems, it's a shooting problem, you are wrong.
Yeah.
Like fundamentally wrong.
And this goes back, this issue goes back at the very least hundreds of years.
Absolutely.
Right? Musashi documented this in Five Rings when he's talking about not to go all Tom Hollaby, but the school of the long sword and how they let the advantage of that weapon corrupt everything else that they were doing.
Yeah.
And without that particular advantage of gear, they were basically useless.
Because here's the thing, I like the word that you used, corrupt, right? A lot of people ask me, they go like, why in Soviet special forces they pay so much attention to hand-to-hand combatives? Because wars are no longer fought mano-a-mano. I mean, we drop bombs, we shoot artillery, sometimes we engage, this and that, but very rarely it goes mano-a-mano, right? And I go like, yeah, you are correct. I mean, that's the statistics, and I don't have to go back. Well, look at Stalingrad. Look at, the warfare has changed, right? Iran war is going on now for 4 weeks, whatnot. We're paying more for prices. I doubt there was mano-a-mano Iranian versus Israeli soldier engagement, and it probably won't be, right? But like you said, if your training with the firearms corrupts and degrades your understanding, competence, and skill selection for when that is being taken away, that's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
What you should learn, you should build the fighter skills and integrate weapons into it versus taking the weapon and build the skills around the advantage of that weapon.
Yeah.
That is a road to hell.
Yep.
Or grave.
Yep.
Or both.
So I'm pretty sure first I heard it was Jaeger, but now it's industry-wide cliche almost. Either the gun is a tool and you're the weapon, or
you are the weapon and the gun is a tool.
Yeah.
And I know it's cliche. I know it sounds, but like a lot of cliches, they actually, their explanation and their meaning has been degraded by people using it irresponsibly. But deep down, they have very significant meaning if you look at it and you understand what the meaning of the word is. So, yeah. So to answer that gentleman from Chicago, it may not be the answer that people like to hear, but your primary thing is to develop competence, physical attributes, other things needed to raise your level of your movement, of your functioning, regardless of presence or absence of the weapon. Then you integrate weapons into it.
And then it looks like on his second question, he had some clarifier stuff. So just to repeat, how do you funnel the amount of information when you start training newbies? I've been training some people on my security team, and they're very new to guns. I don't know how to gauge if I'm telling them too many things at once. I guess but we can cut it there for that question.
Yeah, at that point, it does become methodology of teaching, and that's a living creature. You know what I mean? I've been teaching now for 25 years, and it's still evolving. It's still changing, as you guys have witnessed numerous times. It's a sliding scale game. And sometimes it changes depending on what kind of audience you have in front of you. Because some people are very receptive to new information. They're very open-minded. They're not indoctrinated very deeply. Then you have some dudes that, me and my Gram's been shooting forever, and I know everything there is to know about guns, or whatever the case might be. I'm not making fun of it. Well, yes, I am. So the thing about it is, and I think in one of the classes recently I was talking about it, is that you have to manage the gap between knowledge and understanding, and then understanding and ability. Right? If people have a lot of knowledge, so it's basically data, right? So their data level goes to here. But their understanding of the meaning of that data and how it applies and all that stuff stays way behind. Okay. That's not a good combination. Now, if the knowledge is here, the understanding is here, and the ability is here, that's a pretty fatal combination. Because most people will go in their minds, because that's vanity, that's pride. In their minds, they will connect what? That which I know is what I can do. And they are fucking galaxies apart. Because our brain is like that. Our brain is a bitch. You know what I mean? Our brain is very, very, it's a liar. You know, and just because we know something, or even may have understanding, but we don't have ability. Like you guys have understanding of certain ways of movement or certain ways of rolling, right? But then,
Oh, sure.
but then ability is kind of like you do it, right? Ow, 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 shit,
Yeah.
almost broke this, right?
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah, mine don't work like that.
Mine don't work like that, right? And at that point, it's not just the skill of this specific application, be it a role, be it transition or whatnot. You start realizing that that's your physical conditioning, that's your mental state of being, that's your neurology, that's your tension management, that's your breathing. And all of a sudden you go like, dude, I have to cover a shit ton of ground in order for me to be able to skin that cat without my shoulders ever moving on the move. Mm-hmm. It's not just speed, it's not just timer. You know, and people go like, well, fuck, I was expecting the silver bullet magic solution for this super duper ninja technique, you know, that would make me basically a fucking dev GRU operator.
Well, if anything, that kind of is a silver bullet. Like if you said, hey, like doing this, you're going to be able to shoot the bad guy without him even perceiving that you're about to shoot him. Like, that sounds pretty fucking good.
But you know, like Mikhail, God rest his soul, used to say when people would ask, they go like, Mikhail, I'm not relaxed, I'm tense, I'm anxious, and this and that. And Mikhail would go like, pray. When he says pray, it doesn't mean that say one prayer. That's saying keep fucking praying. You know what I mean? And I think people, they are looking for that one time unwrapped a fucking magic present.
Yeah. Okay, which prayer do I have to
victory.
say?
Which prayer at 7 p.m. I'm going to say today, and that's going to make me basically a dev GRU, right? Mm-hmm. No, brother. It may take 5 years of a push-up, of a prayer, or whatever else you're going to use, where your knowledge, understanding of knowledge, and ability are somewhere leveled. Okay? And all those, they need to be leveled in order for you to progress. If you don't have knowledge and understanding, but your ability is here, you may have problem adapting those abilities at the right time for the right purpose. So there are very able people, okay, but they'll shoot people in the face for no reason.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, you know. So, you know, it's not unlike the Holy Trinity, you know, the Father, yeah, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, right? They're equals.
So as an instructor or someone trying to help teach somebody newer, or at any point where you're trying to help someone along the path, you should potentially be able to gauge those three factors of what they've got going on. Like, okay, what does his like displayed knowledge versus displayed understanding versus,
that's why I think classes
ability
should start with a little bit of a discussion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you can start, yes, you can do a safety presentation and all that. And instead of just, you know, doing the spiel about it or whatnot, watch people's reactions, see what they say, because that may give you some data points where they stand, mm-hmm, as far as their relationship with the gun. Mm-hmm. You know, and you can go from there. And the biggest thing is a lot of dudes, they want to show what to do, but there's very little objective explanation of why behind the what.
Right.
And it's not just explanation, but it needs to be lived experience of the why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when we're doing the drill where we're standing, 3 feet away from each other, one step away from being able to kick someone in the balls, and I go like, move out of the way and draw the gun. Drawing the gun when that kick is flying towards your balls, it ain't gonna end up good.
No.
Right? And people very quickly get what? Both knowledge and understanding, but not yet ability.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because their balls get touched, or they have to block it, or they pull the gun and the gun gets kicked, or whatever, right? We also realize how many people absolutely suck at kicking very, very quickly. That's a side note, right? But this is where you start with drills that go like, there is no shooting target, there is no shredding or whatnot, but we are exposing more of a base level of where, okay, so now I gave you the knowledge, I gave you the understanding, but your ability is lacking. And then you go like, you should do some leg raises and squats. They go like, that's not what I came here for.
Yeah, what do I need to do to kick other than leg raises?
Okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
And this is what separates the Common Core from true teaching and learning. Common Core is easy. You write the fucking curriculum, you deliver it. You know what I mean? It's the same class every time. There is no deviation. People know what to expect. They get what they expect. I hate doing it.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
man, that was a long rant. Holy shit, my jaw hurts.
No, but like I said, like that's why I've had this text message like stored, and I'm like, all right, when I get time, like remind me
it's legit
to look
question.
back at it. And
I think it was like some of the things that
these are the questions like I was telling you guys. When you prepare the question, like you stored it, you didn't prepare it. Someone else asked you, right? But it's the question that someone thought through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't just like, hey, how do you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck. How do I tell you 20 million things that it takes to do in order to be able to do this?
Right.
But this is pretty pointed, not like technical detail oriented, but you can say philosophically pointed question.
Yeah.
Right. How do I match these and how does it go? And in my experience with my teachers, when you have prepared question, have your pen fucking ready.
Mm-hmm.
Because shit will start pouring out. And that's why I love true students, because they come with the questions that open you up as a teacher and you feel fucking alive.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of having good students.
Yeah, he was doing homework. And,
Good.
He was thinking, and after classes, watching different stuff and wanting to figure out how, he's like, I know it kind of fits, but how
good for the dude.
Good
for the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a like an unquantifiable thing, is just like the curiosity and the ability to think things out and find like a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't
just curiosity itself will not bring necessarily to a good question.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to have both patience and ability to sit down and frame what you're curious about in order to get most out of it. So that puts kind of like onus on the student. If you coming to a teacher, ball is in your fucking court now to press the right button on that fucker where he's going to open up.
Yeah.
You're not simply entitled to go like, so Sonny, how do you do that? You're probably going to get this. Magically.
Yeah.
Talk to my wife. Her English is better.
Well, that'd be something I think would be a good discussion in itself, is just if you had kind of like the, the data and then the experience and ability, and you like kind of walking people through like, hey, if you find yourself here, this is probably what you should be doing. Because that's a thing that we do a lot in person, but some people don't know. I guess they don't know what they don't know, but if you find yourself, because like there's things like, I know Clem falls into the trap too, like the engineer's mind, like I try and gather as much data as I possibly can. But then there's other times where it's like, man, like I would have gotten further just fucking around with this. Like,
and you guys see our friend Clem, right? The level of frustration because he frames questions well.
Yeah.
He does, but there's still significant engineering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way his brain works. And then when he gets an answer, Clem is like all frustrated. He's like, fuck. Yeah. And I'm like, so for how many years you've been hearing this? He's like, all of them. I'm like, yeah. But the point is not about getting frustrated. This is a one of many examples of how brain is easily it can be very easily indoctrinated, and how hard it is to get your head out of there,
Yeah.
out of that indoctrination.
I think that's what would help a ton of people, because like just by the nature of the variables, like, okay, well, your data is somewhere on this
Yeah.
spectrum, your knowledge or your experience is on this spectrum, your abilities on this spectrum. Like, a lot of people can find themselves stuck in something similar, and usually, like, really what like the silver bullet answer would be to come to class, because then we can address this individually. But that's a lot of things, like, segueing into the other thing that we're supposed to talk about. I think there's a lot of data giving, or like you were talking, like the false sense of, oh, I know it so I can do it. That's a big thing, like talking about like the women's self-defense is like, oh, well, here's, this YouTube video is 5 moves that every woman needs to know, and it's like
Yeah.
fucking, oh, it's an arm bar and a chokehold and the dick twist
And kick him in the balls.
It's like, okay, great.
Right.
Like, I know to do that. Okay, when dude pulls a knife on me or tries to steal my purse, I just choke him out. Great. Cool.
No, I mean, but
Nice.
here's the reality, and for some it may sound like the new age people, the new, gender is just a social construct and all that stuff. The fuck it is. It isn't. It's very natural biological differences. We are created different. Okay. And any dudes watching, yeah, there are female examples that are different. You take Shevchenko, right, the UFC champion woman. Yeah, she's a different species.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Yeah, oh God, why did you have to bring that up? Because now I'm like disturbed. So there are females that you can go like, well, they can fight, right? But I would challenge almost every dude out there watching and go like, females in your immediate circle, your wife, your daughters, your cousins, your sisters, or whatnot, walk up to any of them at any given moment and simply, not trying to kill them, but grab him like this by a fucking throat and tell me what is going to be the reaction.
Yeah.
Most of them will break down and cry. And this is not saying that women are, weak or whatnot. We are different. Violence is not inherent. Yeah, mental, emotional violence maybe, but dealing with physicality of it and that aggression and that, oppressive, I control you.
Yeah.
Women break down. Most women will break down.
Well,
they may claw, they may scream and all that stuff. It ain't gonna do much.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing. Like, that was kind of a thing, like, not trying to dunk on the dude too much, because like I'm sure he's a nice guy and knows stuff, but that was like Matt Pranka's thing. Part of his thing is everything's a shooting problem, don't worry about that other shit. But then he's like, well, if you want to get mindset, you got to do hard stuff. Like, I agree in a sense of what he's saying, because then he's like, oh, well, you should take a boxing class, you should go do this, you should join the fight club or whatever. It's like, okay, so like your daughter, like, hey, you should just go join the fight club. Like, a lot of people that I know that have asked me about self-defense stuff, like, it's usually like after shit's happened. Like, hey,
Sadly.
your friend got sexually assaulted. Like, oh, go join the fight club. Have some random dude fucking punch you in the face. Great. That sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah. And, so here's the thing with women's self-defense. I have a wife. I have 2 daughters. One of them is, about to graduate college, beautiful young lady. And, I've seen things in my life. I lived in the country, in the environment where certain kind of dudes that I was around or whatnot, women were nothing but meat. You know what I mean? And it was very direct. It was not hidden. They were basically, I want it, I'll take it. It was like that. So I don't take it lightly, because some of those dudes there's a different level of lack of human common not even sense decency or morality. But for most normal people, and not just women, for most dudes, it's like meeting a fucking alien. And I'm not talking alien from a different country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a different level of savagery to it. And it's not because he's mentally ill or something like that. It's just that in certain lifestyles, certain groups of people, that becomes is who they are. So I grew up with people like that. You know what I mean? And I've seen things and I heard things and I, you know, was around things to where after I started teaching here in the United States and I'm watching, you know, be it Krav Maga or Jiu-Jitsu and ladies doing their things, and I go like, yeah, it has its own very niche areas of application, but the whole concept of women's self-defense, it's so fucking skewed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's basically having this 110-pound chimpanzee using the gorilla fighting style against the 250-pound gorilla.
Yeah.
Be more aggressive than this predator and kick him in the balls that are larger than your head.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Like,
just if they grab two of them, just be aggressive. And if it's not working, be more aggressive.
well, the people that will stop, right?
They're not
like just doing that, being aggressive in a situation, right? If it's gonna stop a certain percentage of people who are looking for the easiest of prey,
Yes.
right? That they don't want to cause a scene, or they're any bit of fight put up is above their desire.
And understand that they're still predators.
As predator.
But they are
Right.
predators that understand that in Western societies, especially ladies, they don't have that cunning fighting ability.
Mhm.
I mean, at the most, they're going to scream and try to do this, at the most. But most likely, they're going to get so scared they're going to freeze and they're going to go through the ordeal. When he grabs her by the back of the neck and says, "Shut up because I'll cut your fucking throat," okay, they'll cry, weep, and walk with him to wherever he's going to walk him and do whatever he tells her to do.
Mm-hmm.
They'll beg, they'll cry. None of that is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I pray to God it's not like that, but examples are many. You know, so to me, teaching women self-defense, I can take few distinct paths, right? I can take 12 years and make my wife, Megan, into a trained killer, put her through things that most women will never go voluntarily through, and even involuntary, they'll try to run away from it because they'll think you're a psychopath. You know, in the hopes that she's going to go and come out of this like Valentina Shevchenko, you know, who's a gun shooting superwoman, who's a UFC champion, who's 100. I think she's not a small girl. She's like 135 pounds, but of pure muscle and very physically capable. And, you know, and people go like, what about Ronda Rousey? I'm not impressed. Not at all. You know, but that's going to personalities and different fighters and different whatever, right? But, or I can look at absolute majority of the ladies out there. And when I say absolute majority, 99.9%. Okay. And what are the common traits in comparison to potential male predators? Am I teaching them for a girl fight as far as fighting other girls in the fucking sorority? No. It's probably male predator. Okay. And it's probably a little bit more than taking your purse. Right. So the whole thing of keeping at the distance with your short arms, exchange punches, and throw kicks. Again, dudes, those of you who are watching, take any ladies in your life that are close to you. Tell me what is their ability to do so. Not against me, not against Josh, against just a dude who's a predator. Tell me what are the abilities of the ladies you know in your life to do so, and what are the chances of the success? The answer is not pleasant.
Yeah. Well, that's a like a hard question. Is like, okay, so if it's 99.9% for women, it's probably like
92% for men too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
like
true.
99.6% for men.
Yeah.
Like realistically, like most dudes, like they think that they can fight. And
Sam
that's-
Russell, at the same time, V for Vendetta is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Yes, but that training method.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
There could be unintended consequences.
big time. Big time. And, so when I look at that, and I examine the mindset of the predatorial criminal, right? Most of the time, in significant number of instances where things like that happen to the ladies out there, there is a either sexual or control component to it.
Oh yeah. Well, you're not walking up to the, to the giant,
Yeah.
beefed up bodybuilder and trying to take his wallet necessarily.
Yeah. Right. So there's sexual or control component. Okay. Predators, generally speaking, they get off on feeling fear from their victim.
Yeah.
Okay. That can be used to your advantage. When you right away start, stop, stay back, or whatnot, that's not what you should be doing. Pretend to be weak. Pretend to be submissive. Pretend to be that you already gave up. Put your hands here. So if he swings, at least it's not going to be direct, because it's, as you noticed when we were in Tennessee, right? You touch most women's face and they're like, just with that kind of touch, they shocked. Why? Women's face is their window to the world. Men, even good-looking men, are not so sensitive when you touch their faces, right? Women, it's very, very different. The stranger touching their face, it's like you ripping their soul out.
Yeah, you've crossed.
Unless it's a hoe,
professional
a sex
social
worker.
boundary for sure.
Yeah,
but like,
and women fall apart.
Do this. Yeah,
women fall apart. I've seen ladies cry simply from the touch from a stranger, just break down and lose it. And I'm not talking lose it in an aggressive way where they lash out or whatnot. They crumble. They crumble. So to me, teaching ladies to use that as almost a drawing of predator, where predator goes like, oh, this bitch is not going to resist. And he gets closer to getting some kind of control, whatnot. Now you have access to vitals. Now you have things to where you don't have to punch hard to break bones. It does not take much to move trachea or break trachea. It does not take much to dig fingers into the things. Okay. It's not something revolutionary new or whatnot. When you look at Spiridovian Sambo from Soviet Union from the early 20th century, when you look at number of Silat and Kuntao styles, that kind of work on the face and neck and all that, it's been done for many, many years. Rich Dmitry, who was a student of Tony Blauer for many years, he calls it shredder.
Not pleasant.
It is certainly not pleasant experience, but the interesting thing about it is actually one of the few skills that is teachable in a short time.
Yeah.
It's deployable immediately, and it does not require a person who's using it to have superior strength, speed. It does not require it. It's based on deception of allowing predator to get close to where his vitals, and I'm not talking vitals as in heart, lungs, and all that stuff. His functionality vitals are exposed. His ability to see, his ability to breathe, his ability.
Yeah.
And once you explain and show it, and you sometimes let ladies feel a little bit of some of that stuff, they go like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. The thing that's going to stop a dude from assaulting you is not going to be like pawing at him. Like, if I said like, hey, like you're going to blind this dude either temporarily or permanently, like that is probably going to stop someone from.
Oh, grab his arm and twist it. Again, have your uncle put his arm on your neck, ladies. Grab his arm and twist it. Call me how it worked for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, have Uncle Jerry put his arm on someone's neck and twist it.
Yeah. Yeah, just twist it. Twist his wrist.
Right. So that's basically what class is about. Yes, there will be a little bit, and by the way, that picture is me and my wife, and she looks actually amused, not scared. She's not a very good actress. But I like that class because, again, to me, this is not a gender specific, but we put Fight Like a Girl that it's really one of the few classes that ladies will not feel out of place. Most of other classes, when they come in, they see a bunch of dudes taking big punches and all that stuff. For most ladies, it's like, it's a fall off point. This class is different in that sense. So, and that's coming in a couple weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
or
think
something along those lines.
So we've got it here. We got April
18,
18th and 19th.
Yep.
And dude, that's underpriced for
2
what's
days.
taught. Yeah.
Like not only the.
And by the way,
time.
this guy right next to me, Josh, if he's not, I don't know, if he's not finding something better to do during those days, or at least one of those days, he may be there and give a little lecture, presentation, explanation of certain things that ladies, not just ladies, I think men should carry it. Actually, we're talking about it, ordering a bunch of stuff, not just for my wife and my daughter to carry. I will have it. We'll have it in the church, as far as OC sprays and all that stuff. So there's an extra bonus there, as far as that goes, that ladies can take a look, and not just ladies, dudes as well, can take a look at it to, what else besides the skills, abilities, and that cunningness and that kind of ambush-like, mental setup for the predator to fall into a hole, what other tools we can have and use successfully.
Yeah. Like you can ask Lewis, like if I said, hey, I've got $1,000 in my wallet, you can have it if you can get it out of my pocket. And then I just spray in the face.
Lewis is not walking away with $1,000.
Right. No.
Or Sam,
Yeah, and that pepper spray sucks. But this class, I've said it before, but selfishly, Fight Like a Girl, I would love to see be like a regularly scheduled class. And I mean, so think about the things you've said, like, don't quite have the reach. Like, what fight am I going to be in, right? Unless we're at the midget wrestling at the Neon Cowboy, where I could just keep him away with the jab.
Right.
Like, what realistically, who am I fighting that my jab is going to help me keep distance? I would love to work more on ground stuff and stuff with the legs.
And it's not just that. I think that actually, like having a good strike with proper delivery by mechanics, timing, structure, physical attributes, and all that stuff, it actually takes more work than the things that we do in Fight Like a Girl.
Mm-hmm.
It takes more work.
Well, yeah,
that's a lot more work.
That's the thing. This is like almost cheat code fighting.
This is a cheat code fighting. This is a dirty fighting, and it's funny. I think that every dude should have this in his arsenal while he's working to become really good at other things.
Yeah.
Well, that's
big time.
This is the way.
To me, this is OC spray or hand to hand.
Yeah. This is what like. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is this what these dudes think that their gun is? Like, oh well, as soon as I start losing the fight, then I just whip this out, and then it's like I win no matter what. Like, no, like if there's a thing that I can't physically handle, and there's like, oh shit, I'm getting overpowered by this dude. Okay, well maybe I can like poke him in the eye and then run away, rather than like, oh, let me skin out this gun and then him take it from me and beat me to death with it.
And here's the thing, it's also not super technical in the sense that ladies or dudes taking the class have to walk away with remembering sequences.
Yeah.
It truly is understanding the principles and what goes into it. And once you get it and once you try it and get to feel it to a certain degree, on a lighter note, what it's like, now you have knowledge, you have understanding, and you have ability, because that ability is not reliant on building up matching physical attributes with potential super predator. You don't have to have that. And in that sense, it's unique. I know there's a number of women's self-defense classes out there. I looked at a lot of stuff, and it's lacking.
Well, yeah,
severely.
I think if anything, they're playing into the trap where people want to like, oh, well, just tell me the technique I need to know.
I'll tell you what it is. You know what it is? It's a cosplay, just like dudes dressing up in the motherfucking, some camouflage pants with war belts and 4-tube knots on their helmets. They think they're operators.
Yeah.
So the girls go out there, learn from some, Israeli Defense Forces super ninja Krav Maga instructor and all that, yelling, kicking in the balls, being aggressive, and going like, "Yeah, I'm a 125-pound lioness that will topple over this 2-ton elephant." Good luck, lady.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It looks violent in demonstration.
Yeah.
It's showy, it's flashy. It looks great on Instagram reels and cut up.
Yeah.
But
Indeed.
Indeed. Where do you care how it looks or do you care if it works? Because it looks really violent where the guy in the red suit is getting paid to fall down this time.
Mm-hmm.
But is it, like you said, against a motivated person? Are you going to be able to put all of that into play? And are they going to act their part?
No, I had a very, very competent lady take a class actually in Tennessee. It was force and force class, but she did ask the question because she's been training Muay Thai for a number of years and all that stuff. And I go like, "Give it your best shot. Did it hurt? Yeah. Did it degrade my abilities? Absolutely not."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I was a predator, would that make me do even much more terrible things to her? Oh yeah. With extra spice, baby. And that would be terrible. And she stepped back and she goes like, "That was my best kick." She's like, "People in training dropping from that kick." I'm like, maybe you should switch how you train or who you train with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then in her mind, there's probably a question. Well, this is Sonny Puzikas, so of course he can take it. He's been doing this for 50 years and all that. And I go like, "No, I'm hurting." Okay. But I can point out not just good dudes that train with me, but I can point out also that I know that I can be predatorial bastards people. They will take it. Mm-hmm. Will they be hurting? Yes. Will you pay a dear price for it? Yes. Do you want me to describe what it's going to be like? No, you don't.
That's something that like my biggest gripe with a lot of like the pepper ball guns and stuff is just the way that they're implemented. Like people are trying to plug them into a thing that I don't think the technology's there yet.
No.
But then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just shoot this dude with a thing, and then like the thing hits and the gas is gonna go, and it's like, what's stopping them from doing the thing? Like even with OC, which I'm a huge proponent of, there's a time when it doesn't work. Like even if you're spraying a dog or if you're bear spray, when the bear is mauling you, you have waited too long. No matter what you're going to do to that bear, like it can just not see and then rip your guts out.
Not only that, when that predator, not a bear, right? When he's on you, he already has your neck and all that, and now you're spraying both of you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sorry to say, but not all men, but most men probably will be able to wait out that pain a little bit longer than the lady who probably has never tasted it.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have hit Josh after he sprayed me. I don't know if I would have been able to close the distance and actually put hands on him, but
that's a thing that like in a longer form class you can answer those questions, because really similar to what we did with the flashlight is like I'm not just gonna I got you. Yeah. Like, hi, Lewis, I sprayed you. Like, I'm going to ideally be moving or following it up with something. Like, if someone pepper sprayed you and then, like, elbowed you in the jaw and then, like, ran down the street really quick, like...
the thing about it is that with fight with, like, a girl, it's probably another thing that people expect, and I know they do. They expect that they will come out with the skills or set of techniques to look certain way when they do things. You're not going to look like anything. You're going to do things that look something like this. It's just that it's going to be happening around the person's face. Okay? While your knees are doing something else to his upper legs or in between his legs or whatnot. So it's not something that, you have to have a tiger claw fingers or no, you just got to have fingers, which you do. And if they have fingernails on it, so much the fucking better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. If we teach you and show you how to sharpen one edge of your credit card, so much the better when you go across the forehead, which lets that blood on his eyes. By the way, it's acidic.
Yep.
So yeah, it is a dirty cheat code. that's applicable absolutely across the two genders that we have.
Yeah, well, that's a funny thing. Like, the person that I heard this credited to is Clint Smith, but it's just always cheat, always win. Like, if those are the options, that I could do something cool, and like, oh, I'm gonna punch him, and then he's gonna be so impressed with my form, or like, I just slash a big cut across his eyebrows, and then he can't see. Like, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Like, what one sounds like it's actually effective, and the other one, like when you put it in a way, like, what do I care what this looks like if it works? Like, no.
No, I'd much rather use some cheat code, potentially maybe even thought of as dirty fighting techniques, rather than having to resort to taking out a gun or a knife.
No, absolutely. I mean, think about it, right? So when Clem during the Phenoculum was teaching more technical ways to go into rear naked choke, right? Right. Well, first of all, when you look at the lady, let's say someone the size of Josh here is a predator, right? So you're what, like 6'1", 6'2", right? 220 plus pounds, right? Lady is maybe 130. Again, Megan is 110, right? How do you think she would be perfectly able to wrap her hands around your neck?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. And that's my wife, and she lives with me, but guess what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For one, Megan is, she's pretty safe because she's with me and all that, so she has not taken much training, which needs to change. But we have other things to take care of in life first, right? But when Clem was teaching, right, and people go like, well, to sink it in, yeah, as a man, I can gradually grind it in there, or as I'm grinding, I can do the jaw crank to allow that to open. But as a lady, she's not gonna outmuscle you to get to your neck.
Right.
She won't.
Yeah.
Not before you grab her fucking hair and body slam her in WWF form on the concrete a couple of times and then do what you want to do with her.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, if she has, so turn your back when you're towards me, if she has some kind of half-ass or whatnot, but at the same time she rakes her fingers across your mouth or whatnot, that may actually open it for her to sink that thing in.
Yeah. Well, a fingernail to the eye would probably get me to like, ah.
Yeah.
Something like
and
that.
It's not a trick. There's so many different things that can be done, and it's not some kind of like unconventional thinking. No, it's asymmetric. Do not try to match man's game and beat him at his game.
Yeah.
You have to bring the game that is unpredictable to a man, okay, and that gives you openings, not for victory. Sometimes just to buy time, right? You get to that neck, you push a little bit. As he grabs your hands, you release one hand, let him hold on to it, and with your nails again go across his eyes. Okay. As he grabs his face, that's your 2 seconds to run away and scream for other men. Maybe access your cannon, and I'll give him 2 full blasts or whatever else. Yeah. I mean, so it's not clean UFC ring type of victory, okay? But it gets you out of there in a way that if you think that you're going to square off with Josh, and Josh is not a professional fighter, but good luck, ladies. I would not. If I was a lady like with Josh, you fucked.
Yeah.
Literally and maybe figuratively, or both. If that's the predator that you're facing.
Or like a dude like Phil.
Yeah.
Bumps into me at the draft house, like, sorry, man. And like, boom, now we're in that hallway between the bathrooms, like,
yeah, good luck.
Fuck, yeah, let me just slide in the rear naked
choke
on him.
There, right? So as I said, this is one of those things where it's not really gender specific, because like rightfully so, Josh pointed out that while in the ladies environment, that's 99.9% of the ladies, with dudes, I was being very, very liberal when I say that 92%. No, it's probably closer to what you said. It's not 99.9, it's 99.1.
Yeah. Well, another thing, since we were talking about it, like, this is helping, like, women, like, whether it's your wife or your daughter or your friend, like, those are like the people you should be advertising this to, other than yourselves coming, of course. But like, people don't just help people anymore. Like there's
there's
a
going to be
thing-
10 dudes with iPhones filming that shit.
there's a video of a dude. Well, it's videos because it's multiple people in a subway, and this dude is, raping this woman, and they're just watching, and like
Yeah.
anybody could have walked up and soccer kicked him in the fucking head, or call like turn this off. I'm going to call
People
for help.
don't care, and even more so, people are cowards.
Yeah, like you need
People are
to,
cowards.
especially as a woman, you need to be your own first responder.
Yeah.
Like
Sadly.
it's nice. It's nice for me to have somebody where I could be like, "Hey, Lewis, I need this," and he'd be like, "Oh shit, I got this thing in the truck," or "Oh, I got this second tourniquet," or whatever. But like, you need to do this for yourself, especially like relying on other people. Like, I wish it would be a thing. Like, damsel in distress. Like, people do the right thing and help.
Chivalry is alive, right?
but-
There's knights on the white horse everywhere.
Yeah.
I wish it was that way.
Yeah.
It is.
Good luck.
Yeah. The knights on white horses are numbered about with the really great women.
Yeah, and
It's
most
like-
of them, unfortunately, don't live in the big cities either.
Yeah.
They moved out.
Well, and look at Daniel Penny.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to get
You
crucified.
Do
in
the
the
right
public
thing
eye.
and get crucified. So, well, I guess I will just put it on World Star because I'm not trying to be on $500,000 trial.
No,
I could either go home or be in Rikers Island tonight. But sorry, you're on your own, lady.
Yeah, enjoy it. Just relax. It's not going to feel so painful, right? Yeah, and that's the world that we live in, dudes. Like it, dislike it, agree, disagree with it. Reality does not give a flying fornication about our opinion about it. It simply is. The morality, the chivalry in modern society is all but gone. All but gone. So for the ladies in your life, or for yourself for that matter,
yeah.
This is something that you should look in, and not necessarily like this class. What I'm saying is overall ability to have close quarter combative skills that don't necessarily rely exclusively on you having all the attributes necessary to be a good fighter, because that will take years to develop.
Yeah.
This is a dirty cheat code. You can get by with this. More than get by, but I'll just use that. You can get by with this for most situations.
Yeah, and then that's a thing. So like, it's kind of in the works right now because like, her schedule's weird. But a good friend of mine, moderate friend, I would say,
Moderate friend.
just messing around. But he wants to send his daughter.
Yeah.
And he lives up in Ohio, so it's like, well, she's gonna have to fly in and do the thing. But like, she's also, probably 18-ish year old, so she's got a lot of shit going on too.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Understandable.
if this could be like, hey, like you're graduating high school, like here, come do this class, even before then, because people,
I will go as far as this is probably more valuable than buying your daughter, your wife, a Glock.
Yes.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure, absolutely,
100%. 100%, especially once you factor in percentages of actual carry.
Or even just using the gun in general. Even for most dudes, I would sooner you take this class than buy a Glock.
Hold on. So, all right. Price increases, I'm sure, in the future. But right now, if we look at this, for the price of a Glock, you could take this class, buy probably a few things of pepper spray on the tail end of it as well.
Have a dinner at RJ's.
Yep. That is 100%. You are protecting a loved one better than handing them
Like actual change in their ability to protect themselves.
big time.
Rather than a talisman that, like, okay, well, I give you a Glock. Like, I give my wife a Glock. Okay, well,
It's kind of
she's
like
gonna
giving
have-
someone a Corvette does not make him a fucking F1 Formula race driver.
for most people, dudes included, it's a rabbit's foot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, well, if I just have it, then I'm safe. Or, oh, well, if I point it at them, they'll go away. Like, the level of criminal, like anyone, like it's the same with, like, oh, you just rack the shotgun. Anybody who's scared of you racking the shotgun would have probably left you, said, hey, I'm calling the police. Or if they found out you're home, Like you could have farted when it's
Yeah,
silent.
you could have farted and they would have probably jumped out the
somebody's
window.
here.
I know,
But
right?
really, instead of giving away your position and that you're down around and what gun you have, just shoot them. Like if that's the thing, like, oh well, the criminal that is going to stop because you like, oh, this lady has a gun, like, great, but like if you choose like the apex predator, if you choose that as your option, like most people statistically don't need to carry a gun at all. And for those that do, it like even if you use the old New York statistics where it's like 1 in 30 gun draws, like not even showing them a gun, 1 in 30 gun draws is a shoot, and then 9 out of 10 people shot with handguns survive, whatever. Like let's just do the 1 in 30. So that's 3% of the time you actually need to fire the gun. So I'd be good either carrying no gun or an unloaded gun.
Yeah.
Because then that solves like 97% of the 97%.
Yeah.
Like no shit. Like or like most people are gonna more likely get into like either a fist fight, like or even a verbal confrontation, way bigger. Like that's a thing just from my personal experience. I've never had like when I was working my job doing stupid shit, I never had to shoot anybody, thankfully. And then for the most part, the gun stayed in the holster. Great. So I didn't really need it. It was nice to have it there. But the amount of times that I would use other tools, like the other less lethal tools, instead of being like 0.1%, is that's like, okay, maybe 5%. But then there's a huge chunk of it that is more physical skills. And let's say that's 20%.
Yeah.
The other 75% is the verbal skills and the awareness
social
skills.
literacy.
Yeah, like not being there or getting out of it.
Yep.
Like those are the things that people like. Fight like a girl and conflict management. Like I would sooner you do that than buy any weird bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it's the thing. Like if you needed a gun and didn't have it, yes, you should have it. But realistically, like I would rather you have a fire extinguisher by your bed than a shotgun. Because like
likelihood,
most people are going to burn to death in their house before they have to shoot somebody. Not that you shouldn't have it, but
good deal, Clem. Did like that in his BJJ school.
That's
out of the nest
like,
tactics.
That's exactly what it should be like for everybody.
For college.
But
but that's the thing. Like that would be a thing. Like
if dads really care, they should send their girls to take the class instead of them buying them a fucking
dads, husbands, brothers, friends, etc.
boyfriends.
And then you need to go there too. But I think for some dudes, I know because I've heard them say it. Like not people that I'm friends with, obviously, because that's not the type of people I'm around. But they don't want women to go to these classes. Like, oh, I wouldn't send them there because then she'll find out that I'm full of shit. Like maybe you're just a piece of shit.
maybe
like maybe you shouldn't make shit up and then like, oh well, this woman like, oh you want your your wife to think you're a protector. Like she should know you're a protector, not think it.
And Sam, if you're still on, we need a clip of Josh. Maybe you're a piece of shit.
but that is it. Like
instant classics,
But that's the thing. Even if like, oh well, I can protect my wife. Okay, are you following her all the time? Are you going with her to work?
Nobody does.
Like and then
that's Paul Markle just told me he was talking to someone at the gym. He's hosting like Beyond the Boo Boo, Stop the Bleed, some trauma medicine, and he's doing it at the gym and told one of the guys from the gym to attend, as his guest, hey, you should come take this. And he said, no, it's okay. My girlfriend's a nurse.
Did you stab him?
And Paul Markle, that's what I asked. I said, did you stab him? or did you ask him if she was in his pocket? Paul's like, no, I just I realized that words had come out of his face, but I couldn't quite grasp what they meant.
It's the like what? Like, oh
yes,
great.
People are that stupid.
Yeah, but that's how most people are, and then that's the problem is husbands and boyfriends like, oh well, you're like most women that are killed in like domestic violence, it's probably their boyfriend. So no shit, they don't want to send them like, hey, yeah, this dude's gonna teach you how to like, stab me in the face or whatever. Like, well, probably not sending her there. Like, well, maybe you should just be more honest and like I would want my wife or my girlfriend to be able to not need me there. Like,
Agreed, man. Agreed. And yeah, it's. I wish I could say that this class should be on everyone's menu, but the point is that
it should.
The interest is super low. You know, I had back in Florida when I lived there, I did one of these short version, like half day class, and I put it out for free. And quite a few ladies showed up because it was free, and quite a few of them were very vocal about that I should start running women's self defense classes and all that. So we did. No one showed up.
Yeah. That's what's so fucked
and
up.
the sad story about it is that one of the ladies, her closest friend, a few months later, got gang raped in Tampa. And she came back and she's, tears, trauma, and all that. And you kind of go like, well, fuck.
Right. Are you supposed to be like, yep, told you so? Like, it's so much better that you not have to wait to realize that you need this. Like, some people aren't going to realize that at all because they're going to need it and then they're dead. Like, that's the same, like, even if you said, like, gun training. Like, oh, well, I don't need that. I'm NRA certified. Or I had a CCW class. I was in the Army, whatever stupid gay shit that you're going to say. Like, realistically, like, hey, like, if you're talking about, like, defending yourself, like, on U.S. soil, like, most of that shit doesn't matter. But it's like, if you needed it and didn't have it, you are supremely fucked. But then by extension, for the things that make up a huge percentage of what's going on, even if it's, you got into a fist fight because you didn't do your conflict management, you still lost that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the same thing. Like, eventually, like, you're going to have someone that was like, man, Sonny, I was in a road rage and I was yelling at this dude and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, well, what if you didn't have to put yourself in a position where someone's just going to shoot you in the face and probably be justified because you're an asshole? And then, like, maybe you work on, yourself a little bit, but realizing now, like, yeah, I do a lot of the, did a lot of, like, the verbal conflict management stuff.
Well, in your profession, you had to.
Right. So it's like,
because otherwise, probably every other encounter could have ended up as a gunfight.
Right. So then I'm putting in the work now to not have to do much later. So by virtue of taking conflict management or managing unknown contacts, etc., I have saved myself millions of dollars in not having to shoot people. Like, that sounds like a good deal to me.
Sounds like a smart investment, if you ask me.
Right. Or not getting put in a wheelchair, or, having some horrible trauma that you...
Or making a mistake and you ended up dead yourself.
Yeah. Or your loved ones that are trusting you. Like, the stuff, like, one of the things that I put in the thumbnail for this is some of the gay shit that people try and market to women. Like, some of it's not entirely gay. Like, okay, it's got a knife on there and some pepper spray, but it's like all pink shit. And it's like the plastic... knuckle things. Like, okay, like, realistically, can you put that into effect? Probably not. And it's some cheap Chinesium plastic that's either going to break or it's going to hurt your wrist, or you're just going to, like, fling it at somebody. Like, if that is your investment to keeping your, like, let's say your daughter safe, like, that is pretty piss poor.
It is, like, and I'm not saying that all of those things are useless. Like they have little hair clips that would have like a sharp kind of thing for stabbing, right? I'm not saying it's useless. Right. I mean, but if the predator goes and his hands are on there and all that stuff, if you think that 18-year-old, good, sexy, beautiful daughter of yours will just
rummage around in my purse for this little thing, like,
accurately stab him in the fucking eyeball, I mean, you should check yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those things are useless. What I'm saying, relying on those things alone is very, very reckless and stupid.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard, like, we can talk about it after I can name the specific name, but it's someone we have talked about, national, like even worldwide instructor that, you know, admits in his own words was like, oh, well, I had this, this gun that was like a total, like, I didn't think it was worth carrying anymore. It was a piece of shit. So I bought something else and I was like, here, daughter, you take this piece of shit. And then I'll have to carry this other thing. Then he realizes, like, oh, well, maybe that's not the best fit for me. Like, I wish I had that other one back. And it's like, you literally say, like, this is a piece of shit. Like, I would not trust this to defend my
But I'll give it to my daughter.
Loved one who has by far less training and experience than me. Take this piece of shit.
A woman.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, if anything, I would want the piece of shit. I'll take the high point and give my wife the Glock because I can make that shit work.
Yep.
But it's like in his words is like, oh, well, this inferior gun, daughter,
I'll give it to this inferior human who's my daughter, right?
But then eventually it was part of it was like an ankle guns thing, and eventually, like part of like a biomechanics thing, which is not what he was talking about. Eventually, if you carry too heavy a gun on one ankle, it starts fucking up your joints. Mm-hmm. Then he's like, man, well, this other one, it was like the Glock 43 and Glock 42. The 42 for him was the sweet spot of it's not fucking up his joints and it's shootable and he can get the job done, but he didn't feel that it was adequate. But it's like, okay, well, if you don't feel it's adequate for you,
how do you think it's going to be for a person with less skills?
Else? Yeah. And then eventually he came similar to realization of what I said, but not in the thing of, oh, this is a piece of shit. I'd rather give my daughter the 9mm because she can, practice with it more and do all this stuff. He was like, oh, I wish I had that other one back because, now my ankle hurts. Like, if I'm not
sad state of affairs, man.
Yeah, I would never say like, hey, this is a piece of shit. You should never carry it. Or I would never carry it, but you should.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Like, oh, well, that knife's a piece of shit. I wouldn't carry it. Like, you can find stuff on Amazon for $10 that's not a piece of shit. Like,
it's like me telling Nick, my son, go like, son, I could teach you what I'm doing, but you know what? Go do some little bit of, I don't know, in that shopping mall, there's Taekwondo,
Yeah.
That would make me a fag.
Yeah. But but it's the mindset. Like, and this dude said it like,
that's a big name dude, right?
Yeah. Well, like,
don't mention
not on the live stream, but it's a dude that you would be like, wow, I'm fucking surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you heard it, but it was just like, this piece of shit, daughter, you take it. Like,
yeah,
what?
That's like the,
I would want
the Navy SEALs on one of the biggest podcasts in the world.
That's another dude
saying, too. "Oh yeah, I leave my wife at home with a shotgun. It's got no rounds anywhere in the gun.
Yeah, but she can rack it.
She can keep.
Was that on Sean Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that. So that's another episode that I have on the whiteboard. Is dumb shit Navy SEALs say. Like, both of those things. The first dude wasn't a Navy SEAL, but close enough that you could like, oh, I'll lump him in with that. But that's fucking retarded. Like, okay, who is like, unless you want like to get an insurance policy off your dead wife, why would you say that? And then why would you do it? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Even if it was, hey, this is a cruiser ready shotgun.
I don't know if Megan has life insurance. Do you have any access to cheap high points?
Yeah, right. Yeah, can I get the $10 million policy? Oh, no reason. But that's what I mean. Like, even if it was like, I could understand a cruiser ready shotgun. Like, hey, she's not comfortable with it being loaded and it's not drop safe. We got kids, whatever. So you don't want it to be like, hey, I touched this thing with 2 pounds of pressure, thing explodes. But okay, rack it, and she at least has 4 rounds of buckshot. Yeah. Like, even like I would even say, like, not saying too much into the specifics, but like if you're leaving your wife home alone, maybe the 12 gauge isn't the best thing. Like an AR-15, like there's a 7-year-old girl shooting AR-15s on YouTube. Yeah. Or get the 22 version.
You could leave her an AR with no mag in it, and this way she could just rack the shit out of the bolt.
Yeah. Junk. Or get a 22 rifle. A Ruger 1022 is like $180. And then 22 long rifle is super cheap to shoot, and then it's really shootable as a gun because it's long. And then people that are shot with 22 out of rifles die because it has enough power. Imagine that it has enough power to punch through the sternum.
Well, 22, I believe, is basically a 5.56, isn't it?
Close enough. Realistically, like
much lighter. Yes, I get it.
It's a huge discussion of like the ballistics and stuff. That could be a several-hour thing. But what a bullet does in a body,
really geek out on his
what a bullet does in the body is the only thing that really matters. Because like there's the dudes that set up like the FBI and the Army Navy thing about where they were testing stuff, like they were shooting live pigs and doing all the stuff. They shot them with projectiles in excess of 6,000 feet per second, and then the fucking pig got up and walked away. What are you carrying that fucking could do any of that? So it's not the velocity.
Mm-mm.
And then it's like what it really is the combination, what the bullet does in the body, and then does it have enough to penetrate the minimum? And then 22, especially out of a rifle, has more than enough to do that. And it's super low recoil, it's super cheap to shoot. And like, the 22 AR, if you want to be like, hey, honey, this is an analog of what I have, I would not feel undergunned with 25 rounds of 22 long rifle.
Dude,
and it's not going to blow your eardrums out.
Yeah. Think about like,
and I can one hand that bitch.
What one of Bob's little sons, like, I don't want to walk down a hallway where that little bastard's got a 10-22.
No. And then
Pass.
Right. Like, and then that you could say, like, I would sooner your wife even have a 22 handgun, which is arguably harder to shoot than a 22 rifle. But it's like stupid, retarded shit that Navy SEAL like clearly is fucking retarded. Like, even if like you for some reason that guy wanted his wife dead.
So what you're saying is that we should not always trust the tier 1 operators.
No. Like, well, those are specific examples of where, like, oh, well, this dude is a Navy SEAL. To me, that means nothing.
If I wanted to teach somebody, like, how to fast rope out of a helicopter and, like, attack somebody while they slept in a dark house while using night vision after you've cut the power and the Rangers have the perimeter, like, boom, go to that class.
Yeah, but not
if
teach
I want,
your wife to have
If I
survive.
want to teach my wife how to survive, I'm going to have her take this.
Yeah.
Like, that's just as simple as it gets there. Because the context of what is being taught and for whom is completely different.
Yeah. Like, that could be, like, as easy as, like, in comparison to fighting, as easy as shooting is. Like, I could bring that 22, or we could go to the gun store and get a like off the shelf Ruger 1022. Like, that's what I asked my mom, like, hey, we're gonna take a rifle class, like, check this out. And then it's got a Holosun on it, and it's a Ruger 1022. Bought her a shitload of magazines, bunch of ammo. It's like, okay, let's go do this. Like, it's a red dot on the rifle, and like, okay, like, you need to solve this in 25 reps. Like, you have 25 reps.
Yeah.
At this moment. Yeah, got 5 drummers to beat off, bro. But like, you could very easily,
Sam.
I
love your brother.
Like, I would say Arya's a little too young to solve a problem like that. But like, I have like Bob's kids. Like, here you go, solve this problem. I would be perfectly happy if I was unarmed and handed that kid the rifle. Like, if for some reason I had to call the police and, fucking tear blankets or get water or whatever, like I'm doing with the other hand, and that kid's got security, I would be perfectly comfortable with that, because like the cartridge is enough no matter what people say, and it's super easy to shoot. Like, is there a firearms portion of the Fight Like a Girl? Because like, if there is,
there
that would be in it.
There actually is a little bit about certain things, and there's a significant portion about improvised weapons.
Yeah, but hey, well, if someone breaks in, you grab this, tell your boyfriend to hide in the bathroom. Like, this is how easy this is going to be. Like, this shooting problem is fucking easy. The hard part is going to be like the mental aspects of it, and then the movement aspects of it. But the shooting part, fucking easy.
So there you go, and now you know. Josh was
Dude,
Josh was going,
we
man.
gotta get Josh on the Lee Weems podcast.
I know, right?
With Doc House. So
I've
that
tried
they
to get
can
on.
nerd out about
Well, there was a dude,
soft lead, buffalo board.
there's
Right.
another dude, like we talked about it before. There was another dude with another big national whatever that was trying to challenge me. He's like, oh, we'll get you on a live stream and with a bunch of these experts and see how you actually feel, blah, blah, blah. And I think he was going for the primary and secondary podcast, which I watch. Some of it's kind of gay, but some of it's really good because like Doc House is on it and stuff. But it's like, I will like we were talking about safety rules. I will happily get on there because like I have like a genuine question that if you guys are the experts and I'm fucking retarded, you should easily be able to explain it to me. And nobody had a single argument, and then he blocked me. and he's like the second in command of like a fucking huge national instructor thing. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Can't
Well
answer
done.
a question.
Like,
You got too close to their feels, Josh.
yeah.
Oh, well.
I just asked what the safety rules were. Like, explain them.
That's
please.
anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, dudes. Well, shit, we've been yapping for
Yeah.
2 hours already. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so I don't know. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Yeah, like, subscribe, you see? On that side right there.
Yes.
Yeah, like, subscribe. There you go. See? Do that. Leave some comments after this gets posted on YouTube's. And
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your wives, girlfriends, you yourself, people that you don't even know, like they should be in these classes. Like the no games obviously is a different tone. Like I would want you
that's so much one-off that it's
Yeah.
not even.
But like as far as like making a huge measurable difference, like we said, sooner you take fight like a girl than buy a gun.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I don't know how to put it better than that.
I mean, it's no matter how you put it. This is what it takes for people to be brutally honest with themselves, and look at themselves, not just their wives, girlfriends, daughters, or whatnot, and go like, what chance does this thing of mine, this person I love, stand in the situation faced with the predator?
I think the problem is when they start asking that question, they have to ask the bigger questions, like what chance can I
Do I
stand?
have? Yeah.
The answer is about the same.
About the same.
Improve both of your odds.
Yep. You go with them. Pretend it's for them, but it's really for you. Tell them it's for them.
No, and actually
you're
it's
gonna
both,
support 'em.
because guess what? You're going to be a training partner if you're a dude, right? And if you bring your girlfriend, your daughter, your wife, whatever, you're going to be on the receiving end what she's doing. You're going to find out what it's like.
Yeah, you're gonna have to kill in her sleep this time.
You're probably going to buy her some jewelry after that because you're going to go like,
Yeah.
shit,
Right.
now she can really hurt me. And
Yeah.
she will be able to.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things to where I go like, if you truly claim to care about your loved ones,
Yeah.
show me.
Yeah.
Show me, right?
Yep. That's the
Other things, let's see here. So we have a major pressure going on this guy right here to get and I need all of yours help to put more pressure on his ass to get his fucking website going.
Yeah.
Don't let him off the hook at all whatsoever. No. Yeah, he's like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just been thrown under the bus. That's right.
I'm like, I
What are you
went,
gonna do
I
about
went
it?
in the office to start working on it today, and
And left the office.
well, no, stayed in the office, but it was working on the other project with all the fun people to deal with, even worse than a website. But we'll get there.
Cool. Yeah. Keep a pressure. So that's that. Other than that, the schedule for March Madness 2027 is done. So I will be sending it to Web Guy, and then we're going to drop it, and it's going to go live. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one. And there's a number of other things going on. Some other changes. Support our friends. Ammo Supply Warehouse. I was just talking to Butch earlier today because I realized I'm running very short on 5.56. So You know, when you have less than 2,000 rounds, this is no good.
No.
No good at all. And so I spoke to Butchie Ammo Supply Warehouse. Good people. Check them out. Tomorrow I will be doing my own little live stream. It's going to be regular schedule. The next Tuesday I'm actually going to have a guest, Buck Grant. Some of you don't know him. He's actually one of few very different in the sense that he does like a hybrid of Krav, BJJ, Muay Thai, with a little bit focused towards the combat sports, but he's also kind of like has a deeper understanding of weapons coming into a play. I'm not saying he's like a big shooter or super operator or whatnot, but here's the interesting thing. We're not going to be talking about any of that with Buck. Mr. Grant has had interesting life and even some recent events in his personal life. We're going to be talking about what it is to be a man of principle, man of character, man of conviction, and not being a doormat, not allowing certain things to happen, how a lot of men get ruined. He's running some interesting kind of support groups for dudes that got really fucked in their head because of relationship or marriage or, things that they go through and overall pressure on men. So me and him, we've been talking for a while because he had, again, some very, intense personal things in his life, and he came out of that with interesting insights. So it's interesting how it came out. I just kind of reached out and we decided that instead of talking about Muay Thai, BJJ, or whatnot, we're going to talking about men and their headspace. So that's going to be not tomorrow, but the next Tuesday. So all of you dudes that are alphas and all that stuff, or so you claim, you know how easily wounded we can be. Tune in because I think it's going to be interesting, kind of a dude corner, to talk about stuff that we are sometimes very uncomfortable because it can be painful, it can be crushing, and most dudes have been through it, and some of them may be going through it now. So I think this is going to be something interesting for, not even if not for yourself personally, it's something that you can, tell your son about as he's growing up or whatnot, to give some insights, not to go through such level of trauma and destruction that many men have had to experience in their life. So tune in next Tuesday for that one. And I don't know what the heck we're going to be talking next Monday about on our thing here, the students of violence, but I'm sure you guys will come up with something good. So we'll go with the flow. Share, guys. Let people know that we are actually, I think we are bringing some value to the table in our things here.
Yeah.
I think sometimes much more than some channels that have 10 and 100 times the following.
Yeah.
But
much more than even most of the people. Let's say even the handful of people in the chat realize like it's tough to put like let's just say this fight like a girl or no games or fear inoculum. Like how can you sell that to someone who doesn't know what they don't know? Like it's tough. So,
it is tough, but I think, like I spoke to Vladimir and he goes like, the truth is an interesting animal. It's a very slow growing tree, but it's unstoppable.
Yeah. But that's, if anything, like
it's unstoppable.
Like that's a good, part of what the stream was about was to plant the seed. Like obviously, these things are happening in a month or a couple weeks for Fight Like a Girl. But like, I think Jeremy said it is like, Fight Like a Girl is a thing that like do again for sure. And then even Lewis said it like it's the class itself. And then like the subject matter is something like ideally people like would be clamoring at it. And it would be a thing like, you'd be like, hey, you have to wait till next month because I've got 25 people in this one. But like, but I think part of it's because people don't know what they're missing.
God willing, and I don't know. I really don't know how to project it, how to explain it. You know, you can
Yeah.
make a cool YouTube clips and have a fancy camera work and all the things going on and cool.
It's
You know, take away phrases and cool cliches and all that stuff. At that point, it becomes a fucking marketing thing. You know.
yeah. And I think that's the wrong approach. It needs to be experienced for sure. But then, like,
Shared. Word of mouth.
yeah. And that'd be the thing, the couple ladies that are coming out for this, and then I'm hoping that we got a couple more coming in. That I was talking with
Yeah.
with Chuck about his daughter, and I was talking to some lady at the church. She was kind of interested in knowing what it's about. Like, all it takes is one person. Like, I'm sure Chuck's daughter's. She's like the age she's probably about to go to college or
Yeah.
going to college. Like, shit. Like, tell your friends. Like I don't know how best to convey that other than what I've told my friends about coming to do this class is like I probably need it a little bit less than them. Like, not saying that I'm the ninja at it, but if you had to go from zero to something as a an 18-year-old girl about to go to college, like Clem said it, putting on a thing for the ladies there,
Yep.
like if you had to go from zero to a Clem's BJJ to protect yourself, like that's a fucking leap.
Yep. I agree. All right. Well, thank you all for hanging with us for 2+ hours. We appreciate that.
You got
comments,
Lewis.
What was that?
Got some more comments. There's a little thing up there.
Oh, shit.
Make sure there's no.
Yeah, they just put a little saying bye-bye.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Being nice and
Safety rules are anti-Semitic.
cordial and all that. Anti-Semitic, that's right. They are. So, we will see you next week. Josh, say something.
Something.
Aw.
Sign up for fucking class.